Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So as requested, today is all about ColourPop. So the makeup I'm wearing is mostly all ColourPop. I hauled a bunch of their best sellers that looked interesting to me, and then I also have some oldies in here that I already owned that I absolutely love that I wanted to show in this tutorial as well. So if you guys want to see more ColourPop here on my channel, especially now that they're coming to Sephora, definitely give the video a thumbs up so that I know. With that, let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with brows, and for that I'm gonna be using this ColourPop Brow Boss, and I got mine in the shade Dark Brown. Okay, so it sort of looks like there's a cap on both ends. So on this side you have the actual product, which is a twist up, which I love because I hate sharpening pencils, you guys know that. And then on the other side, yay, there's a spoolie. You guys know I am all about that spoolie on my brow pencils. All right, so I'm just gonna brush my brow hairs up and then go ahead and start outlining the shape that I want. All right, right off the bat, this color is great. It's an ashy brown. It's not too warm, which is usually the problem with brunette shades from the drugstore. This one is a really ashy brown, and it's definitely not too pigmented. You guys know I don't love brow pencils that are too pigmented because you want to be able to create believable brows and not have it be as pigmented as an eyeliner so you can see every single stroke. So in terms of formula, packaging, and color, this definitely gets a thumbs up across the board for me. I don't actually have a ColourPop foundation because ColourPop doesn't have a foundation, at least not yet. I'm sure they're working on one. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply my foundation off camera, and then I'll be right back to try out the next product. Okay, so foundation done, and I know they look totally different on each side. This isn't a huge shadow. I'm testing two different foundations. You guys will have already seen that video, the Fenty foundation dupe off video, so that's currently what's going on. That's why they look totally different, but we'll even everything out hopefully with some concealer and bronzer. But if you haven't seen that video where I compare different Fenty foundation dupes, I will link that down below. Okay, so switching gears back to ColourPop, the next product that I have is their No Filter Concealer. I got mine in the shade Light, so we'll see if this is too light or if it's gonna work out. So the applicator is kind of like a flat doe foot. It reminds me of the Ulta concealer applicator. So I'm just gonna apply some right here. Yep, this is definitely very light, but we'll make it work. Right here around my eyes and a little bit right here where I get some redness. Since I'm testing these foundations, I don't want to put too much concealer on to alter the test. So I'm just putting it right where I need it and blending out with the e.l.f. highlighting sponge. I'm gonna add a little bit more because it sort of seemed like as I was blending it out, it was just blending away into nothing and not maintaining coverage. Maybe because the shade's too light, but I need that under eye coverage. So I'm gonna add a little bit more. Okay, so I still feel like I can see blueness coming through. I don't feel like this is doing a very good job at concealing. I would say it's like a light to medium coverage. So maybe on like no makeup days, I'll give this another try, but since I'm using such medium to full coverage foundations, I feel like it just doesn't go with this look. I'm gonna go ahead and set this with my trusty number 7 setting powder because I've used this setting powder a million times and it's the only way to really accurately test the concealer. So no problems with setting it. There's no like dry patches, the setting powder isn't sticking to it. It's just that the coverage isn't really there for me. All right, the next product I have is their Pressed Powder Face Bronzer. I got mine in the shade Afternoon Delight, and it actually came like in this little packet like this, and then it came with also this holder that I guess you're supposed to put it in. There's a little magnet in here, and then I guess you just, yep, just drop it in there and it fits perfectly. Okay, so I'm gonna take my mineral powder brush and go ahead and do a little bit of contouring with this. It's a nice level of pigment. It's not too pigmented for a contour color, and it is buildable. You can go for a really nice natural contour, or you can keep building it up to get the level of intensity that you want. I really like that. I did a really good job of contouring my face out. I like that you can kind of change out the product if you owned a lot of these, and that the little palette that it comes with has a mirror. All right, next up is what I am most excited for, and it is the I Think I Love You palette. This was one of their best sellers, and the colors in this one just attracted me the most out of all of their palettes. And it has this really cute metallic packaging, and then you open it and you've got the 12 shadows. It says ColourPop right here. No mirror, which is a bummer. I definitely prefer when palettes come with mirrors, but this was a lot more affordable than some of the palettes we're seeing at the drugstore. And to apply these shades, I'm going to use 2 of their new brushes. I got brush number 9 and brush number 10. They're both blending brushes. One's smaller than the other, and they feel really promising. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the bigger blending brush, and I just took them out of the packaging, and now I forget which one's 9 and which one's 10. and it doesn't say the brush number on the brush, which probably wouldn't be a problem for most people, but when I'm trying to explain things to you guys, it would be nice to be able to reference a brush number. So I will link these down below. All right, so I'm gonna go in with this color right here. This kind of transition color on this bigger blending brush and just take it through the crease. So I would say this blending brush is doing a decent job. It's not as fluffy as I would like for a blending brush. I like when they do a really good job of just dispersing the product. This one, I feel like it's putting the product in a pretty dedicated area and I'm having to push pretty hard to blend it out. It's definitely not bad. I just would prefer other blending brushes that I own for the same cost. But the actual eyeshadow is blending out beautifully and this shade is perfect for a crease color. Right now I'm gonna take this kind of darker pink shimmery shade and apply that to the outer half of my lid using my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. This is super pigmented. Right now on the other side of that same brush, I'm gonna take this lighter pink shade right here and put that in the inner section where I haven't applied the other color. And then I'm gonna overlap them just a little bit to blend the two colors together. And now on that same blending brush I used to apply that first transition color, I'm gonna take this darker brown and apply it right on top just to deepen up the crease a little bit more. Right now I'm gonna take this smaller blending brush and take the black shade just on the outer corner for even more drama and use the other blending brush to blend it out. All right, now I'm just gonna pop on some liner and lashes and I'll be right back. All right, liner and lashes are on and I started to do mascara on this lower lash line and then I was like, wait a minute, I haven't done any eyeshadow yet. So all I'm gonna do is take the black eyeshadow again on a smudge brush and go ahead and smoke out my lower lash line a little bit. All right, and last step for the eyeshadow, I'm gonna take a mixture of the two lightest shimmery colors for my brow bone and my inner corner. All right, now I'm gonna go in with some lower lash mascara and the eyes are done. I have to say I wasn't blown away by the brushes. They're good, they're not great, but I was pretty blown away by this palette. Super, super pigmented colors, really fun colors to play around with, yet wearable at the same time. So I highly recommend the colors in this palette specifically. All right, next up, I've got some lip products to play around with. I got this lippy pencil in the shade Curvy, and I saw that the iluvsarahii, if I'm saying that right, collection was some of the best-selling lip products. So I went with one of her lip pencils, which was this one, and then I got her whole set. So this has 3 different colors and 3 different formulas inside, and I'll go ahead and swatch all of them so that you guys can see them. The 3 shades are Curvy, which is what I'm going to go in with today because it matches the lip liner, and this is their ultra glossy lip. And then we also have the ultra satin lip in the shade 951, and then we have Mamacita, which is this really beautiful plum color, perfect for the holidays. But I'm going to go in actually with all 3 of these. So I'm going to line my lips with this and then go in with the ultra satin lip in 951 and then layer the gloss on top of it just so we can try as many products as possible, and I feel like those colors look really pretty together. Ooh, this lip liner is so pigmented. Only problem is that I will have to sharpen it, but it's a beautiful formula. All right, now I'm gonna go in with the ultra satin lip in 951. That went perfectly with this lip liner shade, and I'm gonna give that a second to dry, and while I do, I'm gonna go in with some blush and highlight. So these are not first impressions, these are some of my favorite ColourPop products. I've got their Super Shock blush in the shade Between the Sheets. This is one of my all-time favorite blushes, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that to the apples of my cheeks. I feel like this mauvey shade goes perfectly with the look that we've got going on. All right, now I'm gonna take Wisp, which is one of their Super Shock highlighters, on my finger and just apply to the high points of my face. Okay, now that that's dried down beautifully, I love this color. This is so me. You guys know I love brownie nude lips. I'm gonna go right over it with the ultra glossy lip in Curvy. That's a beautiful shade. It looks really nice. It feels a little bit sticky, not terrible, but a little bit. And that completes my ColourPop haul and mostly one brand tutorial. So I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing some of the new products mixed in with some of the old products. Overall, I am super impressed by everything. The only negatives I can think of are the concealer. I wasn't super impressed by the coverage provided by the concealer. That said, I do want to try with less of a full glam, full coverage look and see what I think. The brushes, I wish they were numbered, but that's more selfish reasons so that I can tell you guys what brushes I'm using. And I kind of felt like they were a little denser than I prefer, especially for blending brushes. But the brow pencil, I feel like looks really natural. It has a spoolie, it's retractable, checks all my boxes. The lip liner was amazing. I wish it was retractable, but again, that's just personal preference. These were beautiful. I'll keep you guys posted on this Mamacita shade, but especially these two that I just tried. Super impressed, and I will definitely be reaching for those a lot. This is my type of lipstick color. I thought the contour color was beautiful. It did a really nice job of carving out my cheekbones, but by far the most impressive standout product was this eyeshadow palette. I am super impressed by the pigment of these eyeshadows. The cost of the palette was super reasonable. I wish it had a mirror, but if not having a mirror helps keep the cost lower, I'm definitely on board with that. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you guys in my next one.